into this messy story, let's take a travel back to the 90s with CNC Music Factory because it seems to be a trademark and fraud lawsuit going on between Robert Clivillés, who created CNC Music Factory with the late David Cole, and rapper Freedom Williams, who was on the song Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now. So it was a lot that was going on with this. And now that I have wound up getting more information, I can talk about it. So Robert Clivillés, the co-founder and sole living member of CNC Music Factory, has filed a $30 million lawsuit against frontman Freedom Williams. Now, back in the disco days, Robert Clivillés and David Cole were CNC Music Factory. They had a lot of big hits, more especially Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now, the most ubiquitous dance hit of all time. Martha Wash's vocals are still resounding through different galaxies, although there was some controversy regarding Wash, who filed a landmark lawsuit against CNC Music Factory producers, Robert Clivillés and David Cole, and Sony Music for fraud and commercial appropriation. It alleged producers used her uncredited vocals for Gonna Make You Sweat while using a model to lip sync on stage and in the music video. Clivillés and Cole had a partner, Freedom Williams, who pulled a bitch move by snatching a trademark and started performing all over the world at CNC Music Factory. Cole passed away in 1995. This past spring, Donald Trump's Freedom 250 committee announced that CNC Music Factory would perform at his Great American Stakeout on the Mall in D.C. Of course, the event was canceled, but not before Clivillés denounced it and explained he and Williams were at each other's throats. The core issues of the lawsuit were unrelated to what happened with the Trump-related concert pullouts and cancellation, but Clivillés made it clear in his lawsuit that a contentious, profanity-filled video Williams published on social media in the midst of the controversy was the last straw when it came to pushing him to file suit over rips that go back 3 decades or more. And then he also went and posted something, Robert, on his page and said, attention, anyone attending Beatstock, which, is a very popular festival that they do at Jones Beach where they have a lot of the 90s and like a lot of the freestyle artists, like if you ever listen to KTU in New York City where they played a lot of freestyle and dance music and stuff, a lot of those artists go out there for Beatstock and they perform. So they'll have like Coro and Giggles and Lisette Melendez and Lisa and all of them. And they go out there and performing, and they got Freedom Williams. And yeah, he's running under the whole CNC Music Factory because he was able to get that trademark. So he's been performing under them and making money. And they even have 2 separate Instagrams with CNC Music Factory. And yeah, so we said anyone attending Beatstock today, and that was like Sunday, I believe. Please film Freedom Williams' show introduction and his full show for me. Feel free to send me the video right from your iPhone, Robert Clivillés. And then there was another video where they said CNC Music Factory creator and only surviving official member sues Freedom Williams. And that happened on August 14th, where he filed the suit. Now, Clivillés is acting as his own attorney in the suit, which was filed on August 14th in the Eastern District of New York in United States District Court. He charges Williams with defamation, fraud, trademark infringement, wait, why are we putting fraud twice? It said fraud, trademark infringement, unfair competition, and breach of contract, and asked for cancellation of the trademark Williams now holds, as well as compensatory and punitive damages, adding up to $30 million. Clivillés has been warning of his intention to sue Williams for weeks. On Sunday, he posted on social media a video filmed by the process server delivering papers to a figure identified as Williams, who initially keeps walking down the sidewalk as the server drops the paperwork on the ground. First of all, I have that clip. Hold on. Now, I come with receipts, child. I had to wait for it to open. Okay, so I got the clip. We're going to play that clip. Hold on one second. And we are going back. We're going to talk.
Yeah. Is this Freedom Williams? Does he live here?
Who?
Freedom Williams.
Freedom Williams.
What's the number here?
473.
All right, so this is federal summons and complaint, but I'm gonna leave it right here.
As with the overalls.
Then this is all I legally have to do.
Okay. That's
all right, so you have a good one.
I was like, yeah, that's New York. I was like, why that concrete look familiar? Thanksgiving New York Eve.
Yeah, man. So
Like,
this
you
is
better
for your
give me
best
that
interest,
damn.
so you can fight us or whatever.
So you
And
better
then you have a
bring
good
that
one.
damn summons. You got served, sir.
And that's how you start coming with $30 million lawsuit.
Yeah, so it was hard to hear, but yeah, I had to listen to it about 4 or 5 times before I heard them say that it was a $30 million lawsuit. And upon when I started doing more research, I was correct in regards to that. It was a $30 million lawsuit. So anyway, to get back into the rest of this story, they said, hold on, where am I? Okay. So they said that Clivillés had been warning of his intention to sue Williams for weeks. On Sunday, he posted on social media a video filmed by I read the process server thing. The recent video posted by Williams amid the Trump Freedom 250 controversy comes up for description. On May 29, 2026, the suit says Williams posted a 7-minute video to the official CNC Music Factory account, which he controls, though his fraudulent trademark claim filmed while sitting on a toilet. Oh, yeah, I remember that was a mess. In the video, Williams made statements invoking Adolf Hitler, used repeated racial slurs, yeah, he did, and directed vulgar and sexually degrading language at members of the public. Plaintiff Clivillés had no warning of and no input into the statements and was forced to launch a competing official CNC Music Factory Instagram account to publicly disavow Williams's conduct. Clivillés writes that he issued a public legal warning at the time for Williams to stop representing himself with the group name, but rather than back off, Williams allegedly doubled down on June 12th by issuing a new single, Into the Future, under the CNC Music Factory name. Variety, and this was from Variety, by the way, because I was like, I wound up having to go to different places to get that tea. Now, throughout the suit, Clivillés made a point in the suit of reaffirming that the letters F and W do not appear in CNC. Funny. Freedom and Williams do not appear in CNC, which is Clivillés and Cole. And that he and the late David Cole, who died in 95, as I stated earlier, were the sole members of the outfit, which broke through the 90s with number one smash, Gonna Make You Sweat, Everybody Dance Now, succeeded the following year by the top 10 hits, Here We Go, Let's Rock and Roll, and Things to Make You Go, Now, Williams was listed as a featured artist on all 3 of those singles, alongside vocalist Martha Wash and Zelma Davis. Jesus Christ, I can't talk. Zelma Davis, who also got featured credit. It is Clivillés' contention to give Williams and the others featured billing was a way of making them marking them as guests, as opposed to group members, as is common in pop music. When Clivillés and Cole were primarily producer writers, he makes the case that they were not unlike famous producers like Quincy Jones, who issued albums under their own name while bringing in different singers. In Clivillés' telling, Williams had a production contract with him and Cole, but in mid 1991, around the time Things to Make You Go, was released, Williams demanded his release from the 1990 agreement, stating he did not want to be associated with CNC Music Factory or with Clivillés and Cole's enterprises going forward. He immediately stopped touring with the group. Sony Music negotiated his release and signed into a full-length multi-album solo deal. Williams' first and only, so because it flopped, it was that his only solo album fared poorly commercially. CNC Music Factory continued without Williams. Clivillés and Cole released 2 more albums and several singles before Cole died in January of 1995. The suit alleges that beginning in 96 and continuing to the present, Williams had been performing without authorization under the CNC Music Factory name, obtaining fraudulent trademark registrations in a name that refers to 2 other people, collecting $5,000 to $10,000 per unauthorized show worldwide, and most recently releasing commercial recordings and expanding the unauthorized use of the brand to entirely new parties through defendant Big Mac Entertainment, LLC. The suit goes on to say that Clivillés and Cole's estate made a formal estate settlement agreement and gave Clivillés exclusive use of the CNC Music Factory name. But in 2005, it says Williams registered CNC Music Factory as a trademark, which was canceled in 2012. In 2024, he filed a new trademark application for CNC Music Factory, and as part of his application, Williams affirmed falsely and knowingly that he was the owner of the mark and that no other persons had the right to use it. Oh, this man is disgusting. Like, just thieving his way through because he knew he wasn't shit without CNC Music Factory. You was on 3 of their songs and they were hits, and you thought you could just go off and be your own man by yourself. And